Hello, let's do a Slitherlink. This is called Empty Middle by Murat can Tonta. So, what are the rules of Slitherlink? Well, our goal is to draw a loop. So we can draw lines between these dots, and we're going to draw some kind of loop. Now, there's two rules about the loop. One is it has to be a loop, so there's no start or end. It has to come back to where it started. But the other rule is we can't come back and cross through ourselves or it needs to be an unambiguous loop. Like this is a mess, right? Don't make a mess is basically it. Don't branch. Don't cross through yourself. Like you could interpret this as a loop, but this is against the rules. So basically, any node is only going to have two lines coming out of it. Once you get that third line coming out of it, you're in trouble. I think is a good way to interpret that. I hope I'm not missing a case there. Anyway, that is the loop. Now, how do we know how to draw the loop? There's only going to be one solution to this puzzle, and that is what these numbers are for. The numbers just tell you how many lines of the loop touch that number. So out of the 4, you're never going to see a 4 because that would make a really tiny loop. But a 3 might be like this, and then we can right click to put an X here to say we're definitely not taking that one. And a 1 would only be 1, a 2 could be 2 like that or like that, right? And that's it. That's the Slitherlink rules. If you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, there is a GM Puzzles link in the description, and I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so the 0, I'm just going to X around it. I'm shameless. There's a trick with 3s that is always good to just kind of fill first, which is you have to take, if you have 2 3s next to each other like this, you have to go between them. The line has to. And it's really easy to prove why not. Because if we didn't take this 3 needs these 3, and this 3 needs these 3, and now you make a little itty bitty loop. So unless you've got a, Slitherlink with only 2 3s in it, nothing else, that's not going to happen. So we need this line, and this line, and this line, and this line. Those are 3s that touch. I don't think the 3 2 3, I don't know of a trick for 3 2 3, so we're going to have to think about that one later. Now, I do also know that the 3s only resolve in one of 2 ways. Because if you think about it, with this line, basically a 3, you're always, let's just use this in isolation. Whatever 3 you take, it's like you're looping around it, right? There's no way to avoid it. There's one that's missing, and we're looping around it. So, let's see. If we did this, I think we run into trouble. Yeah, we run into trouble if we do this. Because this 3, we're ignoring the rest of the clues. We're just doing these 2 3s next to each other. I guess the stack of 3 3s. I don't know. Anyway, in this particular situation with these 3 3s, if I do this, then this 3 now can't take any more lines. This line would branch, and this line would branch, breaking our line rules. And so as a result, there has to be a line here as well in order to avoid this situation. And so now we're going to either connect like this, which then now would mean this can't be in, which would connect like this, which would now mean this can't be in, which would go around this way. So we're either going to S around that way, or we're going to S around this way. Those are our 2 options. So let's think about that in relation to this 2, I suppose, which might be determining which way to go. So if we took this one, I feel like this is definitely problematic. Because how's the 2 going to get another line? Well, it's not allowed to take this line because that's a branch. This line's a branch. And this line, this end can't go anywhere. And we need to make a loop. So you can't ever terminate the line. And so this isn't going to happen. So we do this, and then this goes around like that. This could go down or left. This needs to continue around the 2, and now it can't go right. So it's going to go down one more. Still can't go right, so it's going to go down one more. Still can't go right, because that would make a little itty-bitty C loop there. So we keep going down here. Now this now can't go left, or it'd make a branching loop. So that goes down. Okay. So now this is going to go around the 3 like this, or it's going to go around the 3 like this, meaning we're always taking these 2. So if you kind of enter a 3, you're going to take the opposite 2 corners. And I'm not entirely sure right now which way it goes, although I suspect we do this so that we can pick up all this stuff and come back around. If we take if we take this one, these are a little bit too close to each other for my comfort, but that's not a proof. That's just instinct. All right. Now, ones in corners are interesting, so let's do all of these as well. So one in a corner, if I were to take, I think we have to take this one or this one. You can't take this one because this is now trapped. We have to make a loop, which means this has to keep going, but now there's two next to the one. And this one now it can't, has the same issue. So this has an issue because of the stacked ones, because this end would have to go down, and now there's two again on that one. And so this one takes this one. Now, corners, you should always take corners because you have to keep going. So that's a corner. I'm thinking about this case, and it causes a chase, and I think it's problematic. Yeah, so this zero is in an interesting spot in that we're not gonna come around here, right? We're not gonna have a line here or here. This would be a corner, which feels problematic, but I don't. But anyway, like if we're around here, the zero kind of stops us from going anywhere. Another way to think about that is, how are these getting out? We need both ends to get out, but this end can't. This is now no. These are no longer outs, and so what's the vertical that gets us out? This is the only vertical, and so we have two ends trying to get out through one end here. So that's not gonna happen. This has to come through here, and so now this is gonna come out here, but it depends. Now we don't know if it does this or this. It's gonna depend on whether this two picks up another one or not. But this one now can't go right, can't go left because of the one, so it's going to keep going down. And now remember, when we enter a 3, we're going to take the diagonal opposites. So it depends on which way we want to go on that 3. All right, this one here, we're not taking these two corners. This one, we're not taking these corners. So I think we proved well enough that that's not happening. So let's think about this 3 interacting with the 1. If we continue this way, it feels problematic. We take the corner. We could pick this guy up, or we could go up. It feels problematic, but I'm not like immediately seeing a problem with it. So let's not think about that yet, I guess. Unless this breaks. I mean, this feels perfect, right? We just do this and we're on our way. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Is there a problem with this? We can't take this line because of the 1. So we do this, and now this is stuck. Okay. I just didn't think about it right. So we're not going right. We're going to go down. We take this whole loop here, and we have to keep going. This now goes up, this goes around. Remember, we always make that S. We proved that earlier. Okay. Now, we're not going down, and we're not going up, so we're going left. Ooh. We're kind of making a... Okay, so if I did this, I don't think this has any way to connect up to the rest of the loop. We can't go down. If we go right, we're kind of in a dead end. So we're not doing that. Sorry. This takes these two. We're going to do this. Now, this isn't going right. It could go left or it could go up. I think up is a problem because now I can only go left. I can't take this route. And now we know this connects to here, and now we have a little mini loop. So it's not going to do that. Which means it's going to do that. No, sorry. This does this, but this isn't going to go up. This is going to go left. And it's definitely still not going to connect up with this guy. Remember, this connects up with that guy. So this isn't going to go up. It could go down or it could go left again. I don't know which. All right, let's think about this 1 and 3 then. Do we have the same issue that we can't... Okay, well, we're not going to make this loop, so I guess I should have drawn this guy. Are we going to do this? No, because that would force this loop as well. So we're going to go down again. And now that we're on this corner of the 3, we take these 2, and that's our 1. Okay, that's perfect. So we're not going to dead end ourselves. We're going to do this. And now this, does it go up? No, it makes a loop again. Right, so we're going to go right. Now the 2s are used. We're not going to go up, so we're going to go right again. We have to loop around the 3. Now we have to go down. We have to come here, and we have to come here. This is interesting. We could just connect, but I'm worried about this 2. Because now, like, how are we going to pick up the 2 and then continue? right? We could do something like this, but that only gets us one edge on the 2. And if we come down here, we're going to have to loop around the 2, and that's 3 edges on the 2. So I think that this connection's not going to happen. So this is going to go up, this is going to go up. Now, I do think these have to connect, like this end has to connect with this end. It's kind of visual, but at some point, these ends line. Like if I connect this end, this gets stuck. I think is kind of the way to put that. Now, if this goes up and this goes up, that does complete the 2, but it also then means that this makes a loop. So that's not what's happening. So I think these have to connect here. Unless this can go up, and then, no, if this goes up, this is forced up, and we have that issue. So they connect here. And then now we're not going to branch. So the 2 takes here. And now this has to continue somewhere, so that goes there. This isn't going to go left, so that goes up. Okay, that's perfect. This isn't going to go right, but it could go up or left. I'm not sure which. There's probably, I mean, it'll maybe clear soon, I think. So this isn't going up. Is it going down or is it going left? What are we doing here? Oh. Well, this would isolate this end. So this is going here. Now this has to go right. Is this just going to pick up this guy? No, because if this picks up this guy, this part of the loop is all gone. So this has to get away from this guy. And if this guy goes left, it has to pick it up. So this guy goes up. Still can't go left. This now can't go down or right. So this is going up. They're kind of chasing. So I think this needs to end up picking up this end, and this end picks up this end. That's the only way those are going to work. And so this, okay, well, this has only one choice anyway. If it goes up, we hit the 0. So if we go right, we're not going to complete this loop early. And we're not going to get here because now this is all stuck. So we're going to go up, and then we're going to go right. And then now this is going to go down and left, and now we need the 2 to have 2 lines. And we're done. Okay. That was fun. I do enjoy Slitherlink. I'm just not very experienced with it. So hopefully through this series, I'll be learning more about how to do pencil puzzles along with you guys. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And how'd you do?